session of today's FDP. First of all, I would like to call Professor Pankaj Madan sir to welcome our speaker of the session, Professor Hitesh Shukla.
I
Sir.
welcome Professor Hitesh Shukla ji. I would like to say only one line about Professor Hitesh Shukla. He is such a renowned professor that he is consulting to big business families of India, like Kirloskars and other business families on leadership and family business tree. So rest, my scholar will brief about Professor Shukla. He is a very famous professor from Saurashtra University. I welcome you heartily, sir, to this program. Most welcome.
A very good afternoon to all of you. I heartily welcome our next speaker. And it's
Shreya, can you speak loudly?
Yes, sir. Sir, am I
Yeah.
audible?
Now, speak loudly, please.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah, now it is okay.
Okay, sir. Professor Hitesh Shukla is an academic and shaper of the family business field. For 27 years, his insights, advice, lectures, and research have helped to develop leaders, professionalize businesses, strengthen families, and pass sustainable enterprises from one generation to the next. Professor Shukla advises families on topics such as long-term success, ownership, and family governance, developing new generation succession transitions, conflict resolution and family harmony, ownership and business strategy, professionalizing the family business and life, and career planning, selling the family businesses, and many other issues important to family enterprises. Currently, he is working with Saurashtra University, Rajkot, India. So we are highly obliged for having you here on speak on the topic strategy for reforms in university and their department. Really sorry. Industry engagement, collaboration, and development. Over to you, Hitesh sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Madan Saab and the other authorities of the university for this opportunity to interact with you all on this very special FDP. And I request you to, share is there. Let me share the screen. Let the machine to start. It's all about family business. So the machine takes its own time. It's also behaving like a family business. You know, when we are talking about a family business and about its leadership, uh, first of all, when we talk about family business, we some pictures comes into our mind that some grocery stores or some small business in and around our town or our city. All right, but when you look at the actual data of family owned business across the globe, working with family owned business for last 25 years, my experience is that you go any part of the world, the minimum percentage of family business is 73 percentage. Total business of the globe, minimum percentage you take some countries, the family owned businesses are 73 percentage of the total business of that particular country. Now we look at the broader picture of India. You take the case of Bombay Stock Exchange or National Stock Exchange or something like this, the official data says that 83 percentage businesses registered or companies registered with the Bombay Stock Exchange are family owned or family controlled. See, I've used two different terminology. One is a family owned and the other one is a family controlled. Right, this too, but this is 83 percentage. But you please look at the Indian economy. Majority businesses in India are in, what is called, they are not registered. They may not be a public limited company. So if we add all unregistered companies into this 83 percentage, perhaps the percentage will go beyond 95 percentage. Companies in India are family owned and family managed companies. Why I'm talking to you about all these things, this is because you can understand the importance of family owned business in India. The number one country that has the maximum family owned businesses is China, number two is USA, and number three is in India. Right, yet I'm not able to connect with this screen share. It's processing, connecting like this only. The screen
Sir,
share.
sir, would
Yeah,
you try again? Click on the share
yeah,
and
then
click on,
yeah,
yes. Open the presentation first and then click on the share, sir.
I have already opened it. I've clicked on the share. Then they ask me allow. I click on allow. I don't know why.
Sir, please, can you try again? Stop sharing once and then start sharing it again. Click on share button and then
Correct.
choose the PowerPoint window.
Yeah, there are now there are two windows. One is a screen and other is application. So I should
Yes.
click on the screen. Correct.
Yes.
Uh, Now say yes. Yes. You can't display your shared contact. Make sure that you have allowed permission to share the contact and then try again.
Sir, you are allowed to share.
Okay. But
Yes.
this is again and again asking me that you are not allowed. देखिए ये एक second time आ गया share contact.
Sir, you are using the Cisco WebEx meeting app.
I've opened through the link given to me.
Sir, you are using, I think, browser window.
Okay. So what should I do?
Sir, sir, you uh, in browser window there may be some problem while sharing the presentation.
So what
So
should I
you
do now?
you can continue your session.
But that if the presentation is not shared, then
Sir, if it is possible, you can share the presentation with me.
that is true. But I can go back and I can. How can I again reconnect through your whatever way you say? Hello.
Sir, you have to download the Cisco WebEx meeting app. So you can continue your session and in the background you can put it on download. Cisco meeting app.
Just a minute. Just give me 1 minute. I'll
Okay,
do
sir.
it. क्या बोला आपने बैकग्राउंड में डाउनलोड करने के लिए सिस्को?
Cisco WebEx लिखिए सर गूगल में Cisco WebEx डाउनलोड.
ओके.
Sir, in the meantime, you can continue your discussion.
Yeah, okay. Let the things to work on that. So that is the background, the broader eye view of the family-owned businesses. So the broader objective of presentation is I've divided it into like this. First, I will give you background of some of the great family businesses of the globe. If the presentation is available, that is better, because then only you can see the pictures and the videos that I want to share with you. The other point is, we can understand the various dynamics of family owned businesses, why family owned businesses are not growing, or very few businesses are growing. I tell you, it's very easy. The part of India where I belongs to is one of the hub of entrepreneurship. People are able to start their business, and they don't like to go for any job, whether it's for 50,000 rupees or even 1 lakh rupees. They want to continue their own small business, and they can in few minutes, or just a minute, they are asking my email. Okay.
Sir, no need to enter the email. You can just log in with your guest account. Click on the guest account, enter the meeting ID and password, and then you can join. Sir, are you able to join?
भैया मैं ट्राई कर रहा हूँ. I'm not that fast in the technology. Kindly bear with me.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Sir, you have to close the browser window for joining.
भाई साहब मैं सब कुछ कर रहा हूँ. Kindly bear with me. I'm a slow
Okay.
learner.
No problem, sir. No problem, sir.
You could have told me all these things before starting the meeting. I joined this meeting at 11:25. Okay, fine. I am not able to join it. Fine, no problem. I don't need any presentation. I can start it without the presentation. So I give you the background of family-owned businesses across the India and Japan. Now, what I want to tell you is some of the organization. I don't need any presentation now. Okay, fine. Thank you. We go continue with without the presentation. I told you that India is one of the largest country that has largest number of family-owned businesses across the globe. Now, if we see the data, I told you Japan is considered as a home for family-owned businesses, and the fact is that whether you see oldest business of the world, it is family-owned business, and the largest business, it is also family-owned business. What I told, a family-owned business has a it has human history. Japan as an example, that has some businesses that is 42 generation old. Can you just imagine a business who was started by a gentleman who is an entrepreneur? It can owners at the 43 generation. Just imagine it. Perhaps we need a very big hotel, and then we can start a owners meeting or a family meeting in this ownership. Why? India can learn, what India can learn from Japan. I made this presentation when Mr. Shinzo Abe had Ahmedabad, India, and we have started a new between Japan and India, and we have started a new programs on family-owned business based on that, MOU. Because this 43 generation, the things that we can learn is no branch of the family is having 1% ownership. Suppose you and I is a partner or a brother or a owner of some company, and we have to take the decision. Your ownership is 51% and my ownership is 49%. I have to, follow your views. Whatever you say, I'm following. At the end of 43 generation, can you imagine, you don't have 1% ownership, I don't have 1%, or anybody is having less than 1% ownership, but we are continuing. And the things that we can learn from Japan's age old family owned business is that how can we take a better decision for the betterment of the business and not for the family. Please remember, this is your takeaway for today's session. What you can learn or what we can take away is, whenever we are taking a decision, we should take the first interest of the business and not the interest of the family. But in my presentation or in my videos, I have something like this. When families are growing, suppose it's one family, and then the second generation, third generation, so many branches are developed. And when the branches are developed, at this moment, the individual branch or individual person's interest becomes bigger than the organization's interest. So what we can learn from Japan is that we should create an institution that focus on the interest of the organization. All right. You take the other example, the biggest example is Walmart. Walmart is one of the biggest business of the world. Cargill is one of the biggest business of the world. Then there are n number of examples: Motorola, News, Coach. All these were there. Ford Motors. Then you can take Foxconn. There are n number of examples I have taken here. All these are family-owned business. When you look at all these companies, you will find questions that does it a family-owned business? The answer is yes. They all are family-owned businesses. I said we have to learn from Japan. The reason is that Japan has 50,000 plus companies that has completed its life 500 years. Correct? And the oldest business of Japan is Congo Jimmy, that is 1500 years old business, 43 generation. It's still going on as a going concern. But now we compare it with the Indian owned businesses. The first and the foremost formal business in India, the oldest, is Vadia Group, that was started in 1736. So what I want to say, where is this 1500 year 43 generation and where is the India's roots? I have my own books, Family Business, Roots to Root. आप कहाँ से आए हो and where you want to go. That includes, all 34, that books complete study of 34 centurion Indian businesses. I personally go on there, take it's a qualitative research and then understand the leadership style. What went wrong in the other business and what is the right, the policies, process, structures in this particular business. That's all in this particular books. And recently in the management account, May 2020, one more article is also published in the management account and published by ICWAI, wherein you will find all these companies, some case studies. All right. So what I want to say, without the slide, please kindly bear with me. I don't able to connect with this and I don't want to waste your time because your time is very precious and important. What my point or what is my crux is, though it's very easy to start the business, very easy to do a business of 50 crore or 80 crore or 100 crore. You go to Rajkot, you go to Ahmedabad, you go to Surat, you go to some other part of the Madhya Pradesh like Indore, you will find companies to very easy to start the business. But what is difficult, the data says that only 30% businesses go beyond second generation. First generation to the second generation, only 30%. See, I don't have any right to say good or bad about any company or anybody else. I tell you the things. We can take here the Reliance industry. Again, I quote these examples. The names that I take here in the sessions are only and only for the academic purpose. I don't have any right to say good or bad about any company. Correct? What happened after this death of the entrepreneur? In the second generation, you go back and see into your houses. If there is only one chocolates and there are two children in the family, they'll fight for the chocolates. And what mother will do? Mother will cut the chocolates half the way and give it to the two children's. Mother never, do any injustice to anybody. She'll give you exactly 50%. Correct. But in this case also, what happened in the second generation, they split, and one branch of the family spoiled their entire career and entire other stakeholders' interest. Correct. Now you look at the other data. That is also, we can take here the case of one of the leading pharmaceutical company, that is that is two Singh brothers, correct, who at the third generation, they lost their business. All right. So that in that particular company, that was taken over by a Japanese company and then by the Sun Pharma, and that business was sold for 78,000 crore rupees. And today the third generation, they are in the both the Singh brothers, they fight in the high court and all that things, and they lost their all property. And what my point is, it's not about the loss of the property or financials, it's the loss about the legacy and the loss about the entrepreneurship transfer from one generation to other. Please remember, the data says only 12% businesses go beyond third generation. Right, that happens in the case of Rain Buxy. Rain Buxy was a company that was taken over, or by the Bhai Mohan, and then it's taken over by his own son, that is called Parminder Singh, Dr. Pammi, and then his son. What happened, we know everything. Correct. And what the fact is, only 3% businesses of the globe, they go beyond third generation. And that means when it goes from third generation to fourth generation, only 3% business is success. Correct. Recently, if you have read some cases, the greatest example we can take here for our own learning as an academic matter only, we don't have any right wrong about anybody, any family. That's the Hinduja brothers. Hinduja family, that is in the second generation, four brothers, they made this business as one, and they become one of the richest family across the globe. And now you please see what happened. They have a one understanding that everything belongs to everybody. Everything belongs to everybody. Suppose in the second generation, four brothers, some businesses are in the name of somebody, other businesses are in the name of other brothers. Now third and fourth generation have taken the reins of the business. The third generation's daughter went into the High Court of London, and she sued a case, and she won this letter that is signed by the father, their second generation. That is not, she don't believe that letter, and something went wrong in that particular family. Correct. So that's a great learning of governance issues and ownership issues in the family owned businesses. Very interesting case we can take here is, again I said my intention is not to say anything good or bad about any family, but we are just taking this example as our academic learning only. That's about Yes Bank. Two owners started a business, two relatives started the business having equal ownership in the business, and they, what happened, just this is a great eye-opening case for all of you. Suppose I and you is a partner, we are blood relatives and having equal ownership in the business, and there is some unforeseen incident happened with me that during the Mumbai's mishap, that is terrorist attack on the Hotel Oberoi, and unfortunately one of the partners died over there. Naturally, the ownership should transfer to the legal heir of the second partner. That happened there, but now you see, understand what happened, what went wrong in the family owned business. Just in the second generation, they transfer the ownership but not the right to enter into the management field. That means the one person allowed the other person in the ownership but not the right to enter as a director, as a key player in the business. So you just become a shareholder, not family driver, not involved in the strategy making of the business. That's a great case learning here in this case. Please Google, please see, and even if you can take any interest in this area, you can contact me anytime. I can support you. I have my own case studies on all these companies. We can take another example here is of Tata. The succession planning after Ratan Tata and Cyrus Mistry, and then go back. The cases what we can learn from all these are there. I've given you the worst case of India. It was not the Raymond's case wherein father son fight, and the father was not given the rights by his own son. That was not the first case of the history. The first case of Indian history is of Baimohan and Parminder Singh. All right, all that are there in my presentation. All it's in presentation, no words is there, only pictures are there. All right, so nothing to worry. But if you could have seen the pictures, that gives you some new highlights. So next time, my dear, technical support assistant team, whosoever is your speaker, to please guide them properly, help them properly, because when you send them a link, people like me, they will just click it and they present, and again the same kind of problems will happen to them also. For your better understanding, we can go ahead from these case studies. All these family, they become third sleeve to third sleeve in the third generation. In the third generation across the globe, if we talk in Hindi, कोठी की उम्र 60 साल. कोठी की उम्र 60 साल मतलब the life of the business is only 60 years in India. In other part of the world, there are Chinese proverbs, there are other proverbs there, but the fact is that third sleeve to third sleeve in the third generation. Correct? So biggest challenge is first generation. Now I'm coming to the conceptual aspect of family system and its leadership learning. Right? That is the thrust area of your course. When you are doing a business in the first generation, you are the entrepreneur. You go ahead with your own vision. You don't have any support system except your family. Your family is the first resource to start your business. So I call, in my conceptual clarity, it is a king model. King model is that your words, the owner's words become the rule. Nobody asks them. He takes any decision, and always it's a question of survival. So he always take interest of the business in mind, And when you are, I said in the beginning, when you are having interest of business in your mind, your case will be different, right? But now you just image, it's a father's business, the first generation, single ownership, 100% ownership. Now it went to the second generation, sibling partnership. In the sibling partnership, suppose there are 4 siblings. Try to understand without the slide this concept of sibling partnership. Now the father, who is having 100% ownership of the business, is died, and the ownership passed on to the 4 siblings. There are 3 brothers and 1 sisters. There are 3 brothers and 1 sisters in the second generation, and it's the father's wish that the daughter is also given the equal ownership in the business. Correct? In this case, now you try to understand what is the ownership of the 4 siblings. Bapuji, the father's ownership is 100, 4 siblings, 25% ownership. Now my question to you all is that, who will be the leader in the second generation? Because everybody has equal ownership. Correct? 25%, 3 brothers, and 25% to the daughter. That is 4 siblings, sibling partnership, the second generation. My question to you is that, who will be the chairman? Your probable answer would be the elder one. The elder one will be the chairman of the organization. Yes, agree with you. That's an Indian tradition. Correct? But now my second question to you is that, can you run the business as your father ran? He was a king. But the elder brother, he takes the charge of the king. Remember, he takes the charge of the king and sit on the chair of the king, but he needs the support of the other owners, because they are also equal owner of the firm, equal owner of the business. Just image the daughter, the 4th partner of the business, owner of the business. She get married and gone to USA, settle down over there, very happy family, never interfere the in-laws, your brother-in-laws, in your business. And you as a brother owner, you are also very transparent, putting everything on the paper, sending all the documents and data to them. And the brother-in-law on your sister, who is a owner, she answers she answers that, okay, whatever you have done is good, nothing to worry. Now you just think the business move from second to third generation. Or second generation, your brother-in-law one fine day after 10 years come to India and say that, I want to sell out my own ownership. This is a big question to think. Why Indian business, family business, does not grow beyond third generation? Only 3% businesses across the globe, I'm not saying in India, across the globe, you please check with of KPMG, Deloitte, or Harvard Business School, or MIT, Kellogg's family-owned business is one of the largest business in or very reputed business, teaching a course on family-owned businesses. Last year I was there. I'm teaching this course in some of the universities in United States, and even in some of the universities in Hong Kong and in Malaysia and Indonesia. So sibling partnership, your brother-in-law come to India and ask you, I want to sell out my ownership. Do you have any exit route? Do you have other mechanism wherein you can have the fair value of the ownership? Because many assets are taken in someone's name. We again quote, for academic matter only, the case of Hinduja brothers. They say that in the second generation, 4 brothers, one of the richest family business of the world, living very close to the Queen of London, very close, they are the neighbors, and they have that big houses in UK. They have made a rule that whether some assets are in my name or in anybody else's name, but it's the assets of the entire family, it's the assets of the entire group. Now in that particular case, the third and fourth generation don't believe in that later. Correct? These all are the issues to be learned by the leaders of family owned businesses. Now you just image you are the son or daughter, the fourth, three brothers and the sister in the second generation. I'm continuing with the same example. The daughter is gone now to UK, USA after marriage. The brothers' business is grown. They move from, suppose the business is in Haridwar. The younger brother is moved to Delhi. The youngest one is moved to Mumbai. The sister is now settled in USA after the marriage. So what I want is, now you don't have that bonding, physical bonding that you have when you were children. And you all four is grown, you get married, you will have your children. So one children will be, growing up in Haridwar, another is in Delhi, and the third one is in Mumbai, and the fourth one is in USA. There is a cultural dimensions and the lifestyle change and the social dimensions need to be thinked by the leader of the family owned businesses. Correct? Because now you have to think about cousins consortium, the third generation, the third business model. What I want to say is, you have to change your business model according to the needs of the hour, according to the needs of the time. I can give you a very small example. Suppose I am the first generation who lived in Haridwar and started a small business in Haridwar of woolen clothes. Now because of my business growth, I was trading earlier, now started manufacturing. Now I've started starting a chain of business in Mumbai and Delhi, in Chennai, in other parts of the country. And then as my sister is in USA, I started exporting it. My brothers are living in different places, their children are grown in different schools. One more aspect is coming into the business, that is the woman. The all brothers get married. See, when I, with my 25 years working with all businesses, many people say that, sir, we were doing a wonderful, but we got some problem because my son get married. So they directly came to that lady. I tell you, please remember my words forever. She comes from a different family background. She comes to your home with different value system. She comes with some different belief system. Unless and until you will not align your value and her value, there will be more conflict of thought and ideological. All right, and that plays a vital role. I can give you here the example here. Please again remember, my objective is only to learn concept. I don't have any right to say good or bad about anybody. These two brothers of Reliance, they split it out, and the one brother get financial crisis and problem, and Supreme Court said, if you will not pay this amount within 24 hours, you will be put behind the bar. Correct? That was the words. That was the verdict comes in against this younger brother. And the elder brother supported the younger brother. That is also come in the light. Now my question to you, whosoever is the elder brother, it's me, you, or anybody else, anybody on the earth, can I favor my younger brother with whom I don't have good relationship without the consent of my wife? The answer is no. Now my point to you, what happened when the elder brother's daughter get married? You might have seen, or if you have not seen, please see the marriages of the elder brother's daughter. That's available on YouTube. On the doorstep, the younger brother and his wife stand there to welcome all the guests to the marriage function. What it said, the greatest role of women they are playing in the family business. Please remember, I have a punchline to put here. All decisions in the family business is majority taken in the bedroom and executed in the boardroom. Right? So that what I want to say, there are different models. The first is the king model, or the controlled ownership of the first owner, sibling partnership, cousins consortium, and extended family. These are the 4 family owned businesses models we have to learn, and that kind of leadership we have to develop. During second, from first to second generation, the communication is mostly not formally, informal communication is going on there between the brothers, and they have a dining table meeting, they have a meeting on chai pe charcha, and all the things. But now when you are going to the third generation, one cousin studied in international school, other studied in Haridwar in a normal school, third one is in the UK, USA, and their lifestyles are different, their beliefs are different. You have to have develop a formal communication systems wherein you can think about formalizing your governance structure, your communication, business meetings, family meetings, then family retreats, and very important aspect is developing your family owned constitution. My master is in developing family constitution, and I helped so many big business houses in India in developing their family owned businesses. One of the greatest family I love or I admired and I worked with them is Murugappa. Murugappa is one of the large family in South, having headquarters in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai. Correct? And this family business is they have developed a family constitution, their rules. Mr. Subbiya, MV Subbiya, who when he was the leader in this family business, he created rules and everybody followed their rules. Because see, I tell you very simple thing, if just look back to your childhood, why rules are necessary, why when we have to form the rules. And the greatest family is Murugappa. Suppose we are all are children playing cricket in the society, in the area where we are residing, and there are different rules. If it goes into this bungalow, this house, then you are out, because that gentleman living in the society don't like we play in the society, and we have broken the glass of that window. So he is annoyed with our team, and he said, so we have made one rule that if ball goes into that house, you are declared out. Right? I come to your home with my own bats. The bat is given by my father. Bat is one of the biggest resources. You are bowling, I bowled the bat, and then the ball went into that particular house. And you say, Hitesh, you are out. Will I accept it? The match is in Haridwar. I don't know the areas of Haridwar. I just come there with my resources. What will I do? Just go back to your childhood. I will go out with my own bat and say, I don't want to play. I don't want to play. Because the resource is in my name. Now you just see. You frame the rules. You should frame the rules and you should declare it to me before starting the match. Before starting the match. If I start the match, at that time you say, Ritesh, if you bet there, you will declare out. You are not allowed to shot at this particular house, because we are not comfortable with this particular area, with this particular things. Then if I hit it and you declare out, I accept it. So what my point is, In the second and third generation, we have to create the rules before it needed, before it required. But unless and unfortunately, what we do, we create the rules when it's required. And when it required, like Hinduja brothers, my daughter will say that the bat is in my name. Bat is a resources. And since she went out, that's the biggest resource. You cannot play cricket without the bat. And my daughter or my son went out with that resource because this is in her or his name. And legally you can't do. So what you have to learn as a leader, you have to teach them 4L model. For learning to the next generation. That is the greatest learning we can learn from Murugappa family from South. And the hero of South, all family members are greatest family members. They've made a system to transfer the value system from one generation to other generation. They have some businesses in Singapore, Malaysia, and some family branches are there. They born and brought up in Singapore and Malaysia. Very not very often they are visiting India, but they have a Sunday school system. Through that, they are developing their own culture, and that's why Chittiar family is the most respected family. Whenever you are visiting to Singapore, please go to the National Museum. You will find a statue, big statue of Chittiar family there. I love this family. I respect this family. I respect particularly, Subaya, who learned family-owned business from Chicago, USA, Kellogg's Business School, right? And the next family-owned business is what I admire is Dabur. You all know Dabur, right? Dabur is a very small company that was into Ayurveda, and now it's into the FMCG and doing wonderful. Recently, Anand Burman has handed over the leadership to this person. Now, my point to you, what we can learn from Dabur as a leadership lesson is, suppose image, just image, in the third generation or fourth or fifth generation, you are 15 cousins, 15 owners controlling the business. How many directors should be there in this company? What should be the board size? The traditionally people will say, sir, it's required 15 directors on the board, right? If we will have 15 directors on the board, who all should be there on the board? I, me and my cousins, all are on the board, and all would have similar positions, like all is a directors. Please Google just after the session how many Burman family owners are on the board and how many non-family owners are there in this board. It's not because of the SEBI, it's not because of the corporate governance clause 49, but they have these traditions far before that clause was introduced by Security Exchange and Board of India. So far corporate governance reports is there. They have involved, out of 12 directors, 9 directors are from the category of independent and non-owners category. Independent, non-executives and executive directors are there. My point is that if we 12 brothers are the director, do we get any diversity? The next level of business, you can take your business to the next level only and only if you can allow diversity in your board. You can allow new ideas, innovative ideas, and that's why Dabur is now one of the most respected family. Just image, I am a director. Why Dabur is most respected for me in my study, in my researches? The thing is that I am also equal owner, and my younger or elder brother is a business face. Every day come on the television on various committees, and on newspaper he comes every day. Will my wife allow me to sleep at the night? The questions comes. It's now not a matter of money. Remember, for successful family, it's a matter of identity. It's a matter of prestige, right? So what we should teach our family members. So the first lesson for leader is you have to educate your family members, and they have some programs in family, great family businesses. They have programs to educate the new family members who is entering into the family. I worked with one family. I respect them. I love them very much because I spent my life sometime in Hong Kong. Understand Lee Kung Ki. That's the family business, most respected family business in Hong Kong. You can Google, you can find about them. Today, they are one of the richest family in Hong Kong. Now, just image, if they're not educated, what happened? A Chinese family, Chinese husband and wife, their son is gone to UK and USA for the study, and get married to USA's girl with a different background, different language, different culture. They got married, they come back, they settled some business in USA, they have a children. This business house Lee Kung Ki is in 7th generation, right? Third generation again went to UK and get married to a Syrian lady. Quite different culture, conservative people, different kind of background, and they come with the child to Hong Kong and meet the grandmother. Now my question to you is that how grandmother will talk to that children? See, whose origin is, the boy's origin is China, and then moved to, diluted to the other culture to USA, but the lady, the mother was from Dutch, and they have a children that went to UK, married to a Syrian girl, and then the children come and go back to the China. How they can preserve the culture? The greatest thing we can learn is from Murugappa family. All right, they are all children. They're born and brought up in Singapore, Malaysia, but still they know their language, their culture, their all food, cultural food, and their dressings they wear on Sunday. That's why Murugappa is known for the most respect and more admired family. And Dabar for managing the great role of women and managing the leadership and creating diversity in the family owned business. That's a learning from Dabur family owned businesses. Correct. If you have any question, we can take questions here. You can on your mic and ask me questions by the time I have discussed something to you. Then we go ahead. You can please switch on your mic and you can ask me your questions. Okay. If you have any question, or if you have any requirement that you sir please take your talk onto this area, I can take it to that particular area, because now I'm not using my presentation. I'm just sharing my own thoughts and ideas that my learning about leadership in family owned businesses. So if you want to know about any particular aspect of family business, please ask the questions at this moment. You can switch on your mic and you can ask the question.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, you have talked about the business person Muragappa from Tamil Nadu. In that, while you were speaking, you said about 4 learnings. I just could not get what were the 4 learnings that was being run in that particular family.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Understood.
Yes, I may forget that. I don't know whether I've explained it. 4M. The first learning, I teach all these modules. I have 34 different modules in family owned. that I teach to their next generation. And when we are teaching the next generation, all the parents, all the time they said, you don't come to the business, you just go and learn MBA from the business school. They send them to the best business school of the world to develop the new skills and the new ability. I tell you, that is good. You teach your next generation the best thing about the business management and about the engineering. But the first and foremost very important thing to take your business among the 3% that is beyond the third generation, because if you are among the 3%, you have converted your family business to business family. Remember, this is also one of the module that I teach to all family owned businesses. Family business means I, me and mine, my blood relatives. I don't have any diversity. But when I have converted my business family, I become Muragappa, I become Dabur, I become Godrej, I become, one of the biggest company I love is Marico. Please later on ask me a question about Marico, why I love Marico very much. But before that, let me give you the answer of your 4L question. The first L is learning about the family. When your next generation grown in the Singapore, Malaysia, in USA, particularly in we continue the case of Muragappa, they teach them that how this business was created by your forefathers, by your seniors, by your family members, what pain did they take, and when they take this kind of pain, then they understand the sacrifice of their senior generation. They understand the sacrifice of their seniors and their hard work. They will never go beyond them, they will never cross. There is a difference is always, and differences should be welcomed. So if we discuss it and we clear it before night, then there won't be any conflict, right? I will show you. You ask me some questions about conflict resolution. I'll show you also that also. So first learning is learning about the family. Third is learning about the business. That is the intensive clean. I can give you very big learning from Kumaramangalam Birla, the Birla family, Birla Empire. When Kumaramangalam was quite young, his father Aditya was detected some disease, all right, and he died at a very early age. If somebody is from Marwadi or Rajasthan background in this group, you ask this gentleman, when a boy is very young, quite of 6-7 years, the boy go to the gaddi. Gaddi means the business with the grandfather. Kumaramangalam used to go to the business with his grandfather and learn the lesson of the business. The first he learned the lesson of family, who is who, what is the sacrifice, why you respect them, and the second is learning about the business, how you manage the entire business. Because what your grandfather or your father or your uncle teach you, that cannot be taught anywhere in business schools, correct? And the third lesson is, when you are grown up, see, this family has a tradition to earn the business. Remember, what is the biggest challenge is in India, we are gifting the business. Gifting the business means, मैं मेरे बेटे को बोलूंगा कि बेटा तू कुछ कर के नहीं कर, मेरे बाद ये सीट किसका है, whether you do anything or not, but this business will be yours tomorrow, because your last name is Shukla, you are my son, so the business and the property will be yours. No, Moragappa teach their family to earn the business. And thank you for asking this question. I can quote here the mythology's lesson. If you go back to Indian mythology, why Lord Ram was sent to the jungle under the leadership of Vishwamitra to fight against the domain, when the Rusis were doing some yajna and the domins were throwing some, bonds and disturbing them, not allowing them to do their yajnas. In this particular case, Ram and Lakshman were 6-7 years old boys with a very tender age. But Dasrath sent them to go and fight against the Rakshasi. But he sent under the leadership of non-family executive. Non-family executive was Vishwamitra. Now my question to you, Dasarath do not have any, soldiers or any fighters who can fight better with the all domains and Rakshasa. Dasarath was having a great, army. They can defeat the Rakshas in no moment. But why this gentleman Vishwamitra was put on this particular duty? He was put on a duty to train Ram and Lakshman. Now see the intention, what we can learn from the leadership lessons we can learn. If Ram fight at the age of 7 and 8 and defeat the Rakshasa and come back to Ayodhya, Ayodhya is their kingdom, and all the villagers, their own people see, oh, this boy, 8 years, 9 years boy defeated this Rakshasa. That means he earned the respect of his own people. His own people respect him, and if he respect them, tomorrow he will be the king by winning small battles. That people will respect them, not he is the son of Dasharatha, but because he has more capability to manage the business. Understand my point? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is the third aspect. Teach your son or daughter to earn the business. I am working with some of the companies in Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad is a place in Gujarat, and one of my, one of the industry owner with whom I am working, his son was coming from USA after doing his engineering and MBA, and he was put. The father called me that, sir, how do you find this office? I said, it's a very good office. Have you appointed new director? He said, no. Munna is coming. Munna is the pet name of the son. My son is coming from USA, and in few days he is joining the company. As I am the advisor to the company, I advise them that you don't put him in this office. Don't put his name in the office as a tag. His boy come. I interacted with him, and with the fathers and son, I convinced the father, let him to be Rama. Let him to earn his own business. I put him on the soft floor to run the machine. Now the biggest question is that we don't have Vishwamitra. In that particular company, no foreman, no supervisor is ready to take that boy, because they know that tomorrow he will be my owner. And if I will say something to him, that may fire me. I quote here the example of one of the biggest company. I will not take their name. That is one of the biggest Ayurvedic brand of India. You will understand. I already talked to them. I was working there with the leader. I was sitting in that office. I reached there some 1 hour prior to my scheduled meeting. There was a marketing meeting going on, and some new product was going to launch, and the advertisement was testing, and the advertising agency and the marketing manager saw us the advertisement, and the biggest owner, the chairman of the company, he said that, I think the color should be in the orange. What could be the answer of the advertisement agents or the marketing? Right. That agency and the manager said that, no, sir, I don't have to sell this product to you. I have put the color considering the market and considering the value of that particular group. And the owner chairman said, okay, he just smiled and said, okay, my dear, whatever you think is good for the organization, go ahead, continue. Why I've taken this example here? Because the manager speak to the owner, the chairman of the one of the biggest family owned business, Ayurveda and FMCG, I already took the name. That company, there he is not afraid of losing his job when he's talking to his owner. But in Ahmedabad's company, though it's a small company in compared to that, no supervisor was ready to take that risk to put the boy. I requested one of the senior, very senior supervisor that don't worry, I assure you about your future. Don't worry about that. You have to train this boy. He take this one and he had to follow all the rules and regulation. Remember, this Ahmedabad company is having today 34 aircraft, and whenever government of Gujarat needs any aircraft for their the official uses, that family is giving. This boy, when he joined, I requested the boy that you cannot come with a very luxurious car and don't park it in the company. You are here in the company as a trainee worker. You are only a trainee worker. Correct? See, I'm not able to see your comments. You please ask me the question. You can so you turn on your mark and ask me the question. Okay, you can stop me and you can ask the questions, right? My point is that this boy, I can you imagine all executives in this company, all the top executives of the company, they were using very big luxurious cars, but the boy was allowed to have only Maruti Wagoner car. And when this boy comes here and finally he got engaged with some lady, so with some girl engaged, and that girl used to come with a very big luxurious car, and this boy went with a small car, and then he asked me, uncle, why don't you allow me to go with a big car? I said, you can go, but that for your personal affairs. You are engaged, I know you have your personal life, but don't bring it to your office. What I want to teach you, or what I want to tell you, please separate your personal life and professional life. Why Indian business is not growing? Because we have various head at a time. I am all the time talking to my son. No, in office I'm not talking to my son. I'm the chairman and I'm talking to a trainee manager. I'm talking to a finance manager. I'm talking to a marketing guy. You can see my videos are available on YouTube. I put why. See, unfortunately, if your executive is not working, you can fire him. That hey, I can fire you. You don't come to me because you're not, covered the goals. You're not set the examples. But if my own son is not doing, can I fire him? And can I tell him that you don't come to office? But that is done by some of the greatest family. They have separated two systems. All these things were there in my presentation, but unfortunately, I'm again a very old man in kind of technology. All right, so kindly bear with me. But I hope I am able to reaching to you. That boy, he was allowed to take his father's car when this boy and his fiancée they go for their chattings, but not in the office. That boy was having a habit of smoking, and the boy, when he comes to the factory, one of the supervisors told me that the boy is smoking and our entire factory is a non-smoking zone. I called him. I called the boy that this is our rule. We have created the rule. I know you have a smoking habit. Please do it before or after the office hours. You can go out during this recess time, go out the premises and smoke. I don't mind. This is your personal life. You can do it. Can you imagine? I groomed this boy from manufacturing to marketing to export to import, and then yet he is not a director. He is not allowed to sit in the office that was created by his own father 3 years back. Here I must respect Vipro Azim Premji, whose both the sons are the greatest example we can take here. They are not in the highest position of the company, though they have joined the company and they are qualified. Correct. So 3L, I told you, learning about the family, then learning about the skills, then learning about the people. And when you take the people, that time you become the manager, because business is all about managing the people. And the fourth learning, that is again for the family, that is also for the family. Correct. That is to let go. Why family conflicts happens, why this happens, I can talk about each of the family. You give me any name, I have worked with that family. I am brand ambassador of some of the family businesses in India. They are one of the biggest family in India. I can talk about each of the family for n number of hours. You can see why this reliance split happened. Something all successful family work very hard on communication, very hard on the family. Again, the greatest takeaway of today is I have to close at 1:15, correct? Now 15 minutes is left. Why the family business fail? The family business fail because they fail in the family relations. They fail in the family relation. Remember, now the greatest height I can take you. I said I've started a small business in Haridwar trading, and then went into the manufacturing, then export, and then this. अब मेरे पास मारुति 800 पुराना कार है. I have 60-year-old Maruti original 800 fronty car. I ask Madan Saab, we have to go to meet Muragappa in Chennai. Would you join me? He will say, okay, let's go. Then I'll say, Madan Saab, we have to go in my original heritage car. Madan Saab bolenge, bhai, I will not join you. Because the journey is from Haridwar to Chennai is too big. You don't like to come with me in this small car. Now, I will next day talk to Madan Saab. Said, Madanji, I've changed the vehicle. It's now Rolls-Royce. Would you like to join me? Now, Madanji's next question comes to me is that, Madanji asked me next question, Dr. Shukla, who will drive the car? I'll say, Are Pankaj ji, don't worry, I myself will drive the car. Pankaj Madan will say again, no, it's a very nice car, but if you will drive Dr. Shukla, I will not join you to Chennai journey to meet Muragappa. In fact, Pankaj Madan likes to meet Muragappa very much. Now, what I have to do? Third day I said, Pankaj Madan, that I have now Rolls-Royce and I have a train driver of Rolls-Royce car. Would you join? Madanji will join me with a great smile and he will thank me. Now, what is the great learning we can learn for leadership of family-owned business? Why we don't go beyond 1,000 crore turnover or 10,000 crore turnover? What is Maruti car? क्या मैं आपको कोई छोटा स्टोरी सुना रहा हूँ? No. My teaching is different. I teach with some stories and then derive the concept. Maruti 800 was a small business, old traditional business run by me. That was okay in Haridwar. If I have to go to Harki Pedi to my home, 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer, I can drive with the small model car. I have 60 years of experience, but running that car for 10 kilometers. The car is okay in Haridwar city for driving 10 kilometers. If I have to go from Haridwar to Chennai, the goal is different. I have to expand my business. I have to change Maruti to Rolls-Royce. That means my business model needs to change. Unfortunately, family business owners are not changing their business models. Now, I want to control the business. I want to drive the car. Then people will not join me. People will not join me because I don't have experience of driving the car from Haridwar to Chennai. Correct? Are you with me? Are you getting my point? So we have to change the business model. We have to change the people. We have to identify new drivers. See, actually, I could have shown you. I can draw one picture and tell you this. Yes, I have pen, paper. Yes. Please. Yes. Okay. We can you see this book? Is
Sir,
it visible?
unmute your video.
Can you please see this picture?
Sir, start your video.
Not visible, sir.
Okay.
Please start your video.
A video is already started.
No, sir, it is not showing.
Okay.
Your video is not visible.
Sir.
Sharing, sir. It is not being shared.
No, not. It's not shared. It's in my hand.
No, sir. Your audio, your video is mute. You just click on that, sir. Start video.
Yeah. Actually, it is the started. Okay. Anyway, I tell you. Fine. Okay. Kindly bear with me. Can you see me on the screen?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Oh, why? I can see here.
No, sir.
My screen is okay. Okay, I again start. Now, it is already on.
I think now it will start, sir.
Huh?
It's buffering.
Yes, sir.
It's buffering.
It's
Sir.
buffering now, sir.
I just stopped and I started again.
No.
Can you see?
No, sir, it's gone. Nothing is shown.
No.
Fine.
You
Okay,
have
no
a low
problem. No
bandwidth.
problem. Now you just see. Just try to see. One is the family. Their aspect and aspirations of the business is different. They want to continue their legacy, their business, right? Now my business driver, Rolls-Royce cars driver, is he interested in my Haridwar's legacy, my business legacy? Is he interested in my father's legacy, their value system? The answer is no. He is interested in his salary, in his growth, in his career growth. Now, for any kind of business development, what you need is the third one. That is the investor. These three kind of people, if they work together on a proper combination, then the business will flourish. Business go beyond third generation, right? Families aspirations, families expectations, feelings are different. Business drivers expectations are different. They need their career growth, they need salary. And investor, they are not emotionally attached with you. They look only at ROI, they look only at the profit. If your business generates profit and give them the right ROI, they are with you. Unless they are not with you, agree with me, understand these three without the picture. If now in a business the family circle become bigger, and there are two kinds of employee. One is a family employee, mera beta, and the outsiders engineer, professional engineer. The outsider's engineer feels something bad, that okay, he is never going to upgrade in the business. Or we can take the greatest example of Tata Group. All right, Tata Group, though the person who perform can grow up to any end. They can take any charge of this organization. The company that has given the rights to their family members, I'm using the word rights, they've not earned. It's their birthright because they are born in this particular family, so they have the right to get these things. Right, that is a challenge. Okay, so now we have only 5 minutes. You can ask me any questions if you have. Please ask the questions or just screen on and ask me the questions through your mic only.
Most of the educational institutions are also like that. So I want to know what will be the futures, because private educational institutions are running by most of the time
Family-owned
either
business.
one member or two members like that, sir. So I think these means such type of the management is also required for them also.
Sir, very nice question. Very nice question. We now, education is also become a business, and if it is dominated by the family members, and not like the Dabur ने क्या किया, मैंने आपको बोला वो example of the advertisement.
Yes,
because your driver know what is good for the market, what is good for the business, right, and not what is good for the individual self, what is good for the self. That's why none of the Indian private family owned educational institute is like Kellogg's. Kellogg's is my second home in Singapore, in Chicago, USA. Right, I learn, I teach, I get so many things from USA, Kellogg's, Northwestern, and I have visited so many countries as a representative of Northwestern Kellogg's alumni associations in Hong Kong, in Singapore, in Japan, in various countries. Right, you tell me why I love, there's a question, why I love, that is called a company called Marico. Marico, how many of you know Marico and what business are into?
Into FMCG. Marico is into
Parachute oil, sir.
FMCG.
Yeah, very
Yes,
good.
oil.
What is the biggest product?
Parachute oil, sir. Coconut oil.
Parachute.
Yeah, thank you very much. Coconut oil. All right, Mr. Harsh Mariwala in Mumbai hold the reins of the business in the old Mumbai Masjid Bandar. I spent my life some years in Mumbai Masjid Bandar, and they were not able to attract the right kind of talent. See, I can you see my screen? I'm visible?
No, sir.
No, sir. I think there is a problem with the bandwidth or your RAM of your system.
Sir, I'm using Apple computer.
But it is showing here, sir. It is
Okay,
showing
fine.
here.
No problem. The thing is that unless and until you don't have a right kind of driver, I have my own model of family business. I've drawn it in this notebook and I want to show you. If your driver is not good, then you, if your business is good, if your business is a Rolls Royce and you give it to your old driver who drive only Maruti 800, will he able to drive the car? The answer is no. What Marico, you please Google, you please see. I meet this gentleman. I put all these things in my presentation. Right. Harsh Mariwala stepped down. Who stepped down? The owner, the 100% owner of the company, and handed over the Rolls-Royce car to the very successful non-family executives. Correct? And that's the reason why Marico is Marico and others are others. Correct? So we can learn. Another things we can learn from Marico is that, Earlier, they were also selling the coconut oil, hair oil. That traditional business they've converted into a branded family-owned business. So, greatest leadership lessons we can learn from Harsh Mariwala. You know only about this, but you know Saffola hair, Saffola जो तेल आता है ना खाने का, that is also a product of them. Kaya is also them. You will surprise one fine day, HUL, Hindustan Unilever wanted to take over some of the brands of the HUL, or some of the brands of the Marico, but Harsh Mariwala and his team, they fight in the market and they compete in the market and they win, and finally they take over some brands of the HUL. That's the greatest success story of family-owned businesses. Well, it's 1:15. Thank you very much again for giving me this opportunity at a very short notice. I come to know about the sessions yesterday evening, and family business is very close to my heart. Leadership is very close to my heart. So I am passionate to talk to you all. Please note down my number. My phone number is 81410 81410 30100 30100, and my email is h for Hitesh, h shukla, shukla, h shukla 72 at yahoo.com, okay. Yes, thank you. For any questions, for any query, you can meet me. I'm very sorry, I'm a very old person who don't know much about the technology. All right, so I'm not able to use the computer. Anji?
Old is gold.
I don't know, but I try to give you I shared my experience working with family-owned businesses. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you all.
Our experience learning.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for this nice session. And I would like to invite Aman sir for vote of thanks. Aman sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Hitesh Shukla ji, for enlightening us with your knowledge. Thank you for enlightening us, for telling us about the industry engagement, collaboration, and development. And also thank you for telling us about how leadership can be maintained in the family business. Once again, I would like to thank all the participants who stay connected. Once again, thank you, Hitesh Shukla sir, for your cooperation. Thank you, sir. Sir, Suyash sir, over to you, sir.
Dear participants, we will now meet again at 2 p.m. We will now end this session here. And there are some announcements I would like to make. Tomorrow, in the later half of the FDP at 3:30, we will be conducting an online exam based on the Google form. So there will be 30 questions in the exam, and you will be assigned 30 minutes duration to attend it. So please be on time. Please be ready and prepared for the exam at that time, so that we can conduct it with your cooperation. And do not be absent in that session. Do not miss that session, as it is mandatory from the AICTE to take an exam in the last session of the FDP, and it is mandatory for all of the participants to attend it. The participants who have scored more than 60 in that exam and has attendance more than 60% will be assigned the certificate. We will give in the certificate from AICTE itself. So do not miss that exam, and I will be posting a detailed message on it also in the group. So do not worry about the attendance, and you all attendance are marked automatically by the Cisco platform. So do not worry about the attendance. Just you have to do one thing, that you have to attend the sessions from starting till the end. That will automatically mark your attendance in the Cisco platform. The syllabus is the PPT which we have shared in the group, and nothing else. Nothing will be out from that content. That content is already shared with you. I will be sharing the PPTs very soon. If someone has missed, you can access them again. I will be sending the mail to you also by the end of this day. And I hope you all are ready for the last day exam. And as some participants have mentioned their concern about the exam, the last session and the last session will not be included in the exam, so you can prepare your multiple will be there, and you can prepare it well by today evening. So it will be fine for you, and do not miss the exam. That is what I want to communicate to you. That is what I want to announce in the session. So we'll be now taking a break of around 40 minutes. We will now connect at again 2 p.m. So I will be waiting for you. Please join us at 2 p.m. Thank you all. Thank you for connecting.